Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
With the big, bold flavour of HP sauce, making breakfast legendary.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Why not text us on 8 12 15 or follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, or then again, you could maybe contact us through the Absolute Radio website.
Happy Valentine's Day, Frank.
Thanks.
Morning.
Alan, what did you get, Mrs. Cockrell?
Morning, Jim.
Nothing so far.
Nothing, Frank.
No.
What did you get, Kathy?
Well, nothing shall come from nothing.
Oh, good.
Bit of Shakespeare early on.
King Lear, innit?
It is King Lear. Well done, sir.
What did you get, Kathy?
You might be tight-fisted, but you know your plays.
I know my plays. I do know my plays.
He knows his plays.
I know my plays in the world.
You got glitter on your nose, Em.
If that's the spot, you're going to feel so bad in a minute.
No, it
very
wasn't
shiny spot.
It really did.
Okay, well...
In fact, will you guide my sleigh tonight?
Talk amongst yourselves whilst I remove it.
Okay. Don't worry about it.
No.
It's radio.
You're glad you didn't meet me in the 90s. Oh, you did.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, so, well, yes, I did get a small. I got a small.
What did you get?
Well, I don't know. She might not have opened it yet.
Oh, okay. Did you get her a card?
It's a radish.
A radish?
No,
Lovely.
not really.
I'm trying to eat a lot of
Card,
cruciferous
yes, I got a
vegetables.
card.
Do you say love Frank or will you be my Valentine?
I always
What do
say
you
be my Valentine. You have to say that. Be my Valentine.
Oh, lovely.
Evidently I don't. I
Oh,
think
you don't have
really
to say
rattled
it.
Emily
Do
that I
you
said
get a
I don't
card?
join
You get a
in.
card, Em?
I did. I got a gift as well.
Oh, prepared to say what the gift was?
Mind your own business.
Okay.
Oh.
No, it's a
Well,
very middle-class Valentine's gift. It was tickets
Hummus?
to a production of Sweeney Todd.
Hummus.
With Emma
Sweeney
Thompson.
Todd.
Sweeney Todd at the E&O. Are you going to the
Yes.
opening night?
No.
Oh, I am. Oh,
Me too.
victory is mine! No, that'll be tremendous. Ken Dodd as the barber.
Yeah. Surprise casting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think it's quite a good idea. Love is like a violin.
I didn't know you could do Ken Dodd.
Oh,
Oh, good.
God, my
It's
Ken
always
Dodd.
nice when you stumble on another impersonation. that
My
you
Ken
can do.
Dodd is... I was going to say legendary.
Oh, I got a Valentine's card from Nugget as well.
Oh, yeah, Nugget.
I was trying to tell you earlier, but Frank doesn't like it when I get fan mail. He always changes the subject.
so not
He does.
true.
Honestly, I got 2 pieces of fan mail
Anyway, I
this
was
morning.
watching the telly this week.
I got some fan mail from America, and I got a Valentine's card from Nugget.
What fan mail from America you speak of?
It's from a character in Maine.
Oh,
He printed
yeah.
out a picture of me on Twitter and asked me to sign it.
Nice.
Maybe I should say to him, banger, and he'd say, no, really, I just want one dinner. Bangor, Maine, it's a place.
Give my love to 1994, you blue period.
Have you not heard of Bangor, Maine?
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
Well,
Anyway,
you have now.
Nugget, thanks for the Valentine's card, and I appreciate that, as you say yourself, I am happily married.
Yes. Can I talk about what I saw on the telly this week?
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
I've watched quite a lot of television this week, more television than I've
yeah.
watched for many a long year and oft.
Oh, like a pensioner.
Yeah, you know, do you ever get those weeks when you think television is brilliant?
Yeah.
I'd forgotten how brilliant it was. Maybe I should try doing some brilliant television instead
You
of
do?
my
Oh, come on,
genuine,
son.
my general run-of-the-mill stuff.
Done.
But
Don't do this.
I don't think I should do that.
No, I don't think you should beat yourself up on the radio. It's not
Okay.
good.
There's a programme called The Gift.
Oh, yeah.
Started on... You wouldn't like it.
Doesn't sound like my cup of tea.
That's the horror channel for Alan.
Ugh.
But it's what happens is that people get the chance to either thank or apologise to people from their past.
No. No, it's not for me.
Not for me.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. It was good. I thought.
Let
Oh
it
no,
go.
not sure about this. And then I was, you know, I was off to bed. I mean, it was 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
What?
and
Can I do a programme called Let It Go, in which you don't apologise to people from your past?
Let it go.
Yeah.
What was missing for me was that you can't go back and demand an apology from someone from your past. That's what I would like.
Yeah.
No, but I was leaving the room. And it started, I thought I'll watch the first bit standing up. And then I did that thing when I sat on the arm of the sofa. I'm not going to watch this. I watched about the first 20 minutes on the arm of the sofa. I actually put a Western saddle over it for effect.
Nice.
And then I settled down and watched the whole damn thing.
Did you like it?
Yes.
Oh.
I was sort of hooked by it. It did start me thinking, who would I want to say sorry and thank you to?
I can think of a few.
Yeah. Anyone I went out with for more than a week, sorry. And anyone I went out with for less than 2 days, thank you.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What's happened?
Oh,
Everyone stopped talking.
We've had a text.
Have I
joke.
said something wrong?
It's a joke of sorts,
yes.
I think.
We've had
But that's
a
not why you stopped talking.
Okay.
914 has texted, and I like that he's getting into the spirit of this. And at first, I thought that we'd done a bit of a public service. From Ginger Steve, thank you for reminding me that today is Valentine's Day. So far, so good. I thought, excellent, we've helped him out. I had forgotten, but I've managed to book a table. I'm taking a chance, as I'm not sure that she even likes snooker. See, he's done a little gag. He's put a gag in there.
Good job.
Yeah.
I like it. It's good. 914. Well done, 914.
Of course, when you said it, I thought, well, he won't have booked a table this time in the morning in a restaurant.
Online? You could have gone online.
Can you go online?
You're so trusting, Frank. I love that about you.
I mean, it's Valentine's Day. Can you imagine it?
There's a jungle out there.
Okay.
There is another email that I'll have to find because it's disappeared now. So
That's
you'll
okay.
just have
don't,
to.
Don't feel bad about it.
514 is confirming that television is indeed brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank the Lord for Edison. That's from Neil.
Yeah. It's good that we come on radio to say that. It's what everyone in radio, of course, thinks.
Yeah,
They
that is
think
a worry.
But, you know, they're always... Well, not me, obviously, so I've come the other way.
I won't have a word said against radio because I'm so impressed and excited, and you were too, because Mike Reid came in here this morning and asked to borrow some bread.
He did. Well, he actually said, can I borrow some toast? I think the hint was that we were supposed to toast it for him.
Oh, were we? What did you say? You just said, yeah, no problems.
Well, I'm still quite excited that Mike Reid
I
comes
was.
in.
Yeah.
I wish he'd just chuck in the odd quiz question.
I felt like we were on the Saturday Superstore.
I love a pop quiz.
Yeah,
You'd love a quiz, don't you?
I love a quiz of all kinds. So anyway, the gift. So I was thinking about who I'd say sorry to, and I'll be honest. I tell you what, I once said sorry to Sophie Ellis Bextor
Oh yeah,
because I
you're a bit mean
well,
to
we
her.
I was
know
a
what
bit
you
mean
said.
to
You
her,
said
yes.
you said why the wide face.
I did,
yeah.
yes, at the
Let's-
Brits.
Let's not put salt in it. She
It's
might be a
often-
listener now.
It's odd how, well, I have apologised formally. How often the Brits comes up on this show, my lowest. In my career, it's a sort of my version of the night they drove old Dixie down, or whatever it was my bleakest. But always,
90% of the time, it comes up because of me. Let's be honest.
yes,
You
but
bring it up.
but it's fine. I think it's good to have something to keep you humble.
Yeah, that
But I did at
that's a
school.
flaw in your Persian rug, Frank.
At school, yes, exactly. At school, I was part of the bully gang.
Were
see.
you?
Yes,
I'm disappointed.
yes.
So was I.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what's the interesting thing about it. I mean, obviously it's a terrible thing, and I could go and seek out some of those boys now and say sorry, but I didn't do much physical stuff. I did the jokes, the verbals.
A bit like moving your coffee table upstairs, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit like that.
You did the sort of
I always-
instructing.
I always think I was a sort of I was the bully gang's artist in residence.
Yeah.
The foreman of the works.
But
or
obviously it's a
something.
terrible thing, bullying, and well, it is nowadays. Then it was accepted as part of life. But we were glad of the exercise. But I'd like to. I could imagine going back and apologising
Would you?
to them. Yeah, and maybe go back to the kids I didn't bully just for a quick dead leg.
Yeah. Even things out.
But I do. I can't help thinking a lot of comedians, when you hear comedians interviewed or read their autobiographies, they often say, yes, well, I was bullied at school, and, you know, that's why I became a comedian. But I would say being a bully at school is much better practice for being a comedian.
I think that's true.
Yeah, it's a simple step then to being on stage. So these people say, I was bullied at school and that's how I learnt, blah, blah, blah. And you see them on stage saying that, fat bloke comes in a bit late and they say, you've been jogging, have you, mate? And you think, hold on a minute, you were bullied at school? No, so I'd go back and say sorry to those kids. I'm not going to name them.
That's nice, though.
And the thank you. Have you thought of a thank you?
Yes, there's another kid from school called Christopher Watts.
Oh, yeah.
Who was
Glad we're protecting his anonymity.
At my story. Oh, yeah. Called Mr. X.
Yeah. Well dealt with there, Frank.
Yeah, thanks.
Malcolm, was it?
Clear. We can do it in the edit.
Yeah.
Live, you think?
So what happened with him?
So, I think I might have to tell you after the adverts, but...
you're teasing us with Christopher Watts.
Yeah. Cliffhanger sounds like more bullying,
Christopher
doesn't
Watts anecdote coming up.
But I wish I could have what he has got. Oh, thanks for not getting that.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
So, Christopher Watts was this kid at school. Little glasses, National Health glasses. And there was this girl in our class who was like the prettiest. This is honestly when we were about 6.
I think you've gone too soon into this. It's like you've got to save it. It should be like the end guest on the chat show, shouldn't it?
Well, they might be dead now. They're my age.
Okay.
And they haven't had
Another very undepressing things you've said.
Well, they probably haven't had my easy life. So,
That's one of the positive things that you said.
So there was a girl called Annette who was the prettiest girl in the class. So we were tiny children,
yes.
all of us. So he did the... I'll tell you who was the big band at the time was Freddie and the Dreamers.
Uh-huh.
So this kid, he got some of his mates together and they did, at the end of the day, the teacher said, Christopher's going to do a performance. I said, well, hold it. What about the, what about our lessons and things? Well, I mean, it's mainly the sandpit. So he did a Freddie and the Dreamers, and I could see
serenaded,
like a performance.
Yeah, he got up because he had glasses on, so he was halfway there. Because Freddie and the Dreamers, Freddie Garrity, and as you know, Freddie Garrity breeds contempt, and so he did
up in
that
bed all night,
and he became the star of the class. And then
I bet that went down well with you.
Well, what I'd go back and thank him for is showing me the advantages of being in show business. Because after that, Annette thought he was marvellous. And then, can I tell you the pathetic ending to this story? This is so about a week later, I got some mates together and I said to the teacher...
I feel sick, I know what you're going to do. I feel sick.
I said, can we do a performance?
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah. And what's even worse, what did we do? We did Freddie and the Dreamers. So we even did the same thing. And I wore sunglasses because I hadn't got any glasses, so I wore that. And
on your lips it sounded hollow, I'm afraid.
I mean, we were better, but we were second.
Yeah.
And the terrible thing was, I remember afterwards he said to me, "You don't really wear glasses."
And he was right.
Good point, well made.
Yeah, but the fact that why did we do Freddie and the Dream?
Yeah.
Because you're intensely competitive.
I know, but we had the whole of Mersey beat to
So
choose
did you
from.
go out with Annette after that?
No.
Oh.
We didn't go out. We were 6.
But Annette...
We didn't go out. No, I don't know what happened to her.
Oh, okay.
If you're listening, Annette, it's all right. I'm over it now. Don't bother texting me.
Frank, I would like to apologise to James. I must have been about 8.
Okay.
And he wrote me a letter saying he loved me.
Nice.
And I didn't love him. So I asked my mother, I said, what should I do? She said, you need to tell him, you need to put him out of his misery.
Okay.
So I wrote him a letter back. I've still got it, actually.
Did he live locally?
Yeah, but people wrote to each other in those days. He lived in Highgate, I lived in Highgate.
8-year-olds wrote to each other.
Welcome to my past.
Probably with a quill from Emily's background.
And I wrote it on Muppet notepaper.
Oh, that's not correct.
When I say Muppet, it had a sort of... it was in a little oval. It was sepia photograph of Statler and Waldorf.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And I said, Dear James, I said, thank you for your letter, but I'm afraid I do not love you.
Okay.
I said, I cannot love you. I cannot love you.
That's better.
Was he
I
working
cannot
class?
love you.
That's more Jane Austen, I
No,
cannot.
he wasn't working class.
No.
His mother produced Swap Shop. He probably knows my read.
Oh, okay.
And then I said
But
at
you
the
could have
end,
got some toys, leftover toys.
Oh, yeah.
I said, I cannot love you. I said, P.S. I like you better than Tom Cole Adams. I think that was quite nice.
Was that another kid at school?
Yeah, I'm quite glad.
Yeah, put him in a league table. That's going to make him feel better. He's not in the relegation zone.
It hurts so much in that age, though. It seems silly now, but it does hurt.
Yeah, I like the fact it was on Muppet notepaper.
No, but that was horrible being dumped on Muppet notepaper.
Even then, you were pulling the strings.
I did. I ended my marriage on Muppet notepaper.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
I'm not sure I really understand this gift programme. It's just people find someone from the past that they should have said sorry to.
Or thank you.
Yeah.
Or thank you. And then they go up and they say it.
I don't mean like someone who held the door open for you in 2008.
I see, that's my problem with this show, is that I'm an over-sorrier. I scatter sorries about to people in the service industry like they're going out of fashion.
Oh,
like,
such a nice guy.
Well, thank you. Like, someone putting something down, thank you. And then I sometimes say sorry for how many times I've said thank you. It's a disgrace. I'm
You're
firing, mate.
disproving the old adage that sorry seems to be the hardest word.
I reckon you had quite a temper on you when you were a young'un.
Oh, yeah, when I was a young'un I had a temper. Actually, yeah, I should maybe look up...
In case you don't know, new readers, Alan killed 2 people in a McDonald's in 2004.
Yeah, but
He served his time.
In
Served my time.
Strathclyde, I believe.
And,
Yes.
and I can apply for jobs on like this. I just put spent in the column for...
Well, you know,
whatever it is.
we were encouraged that, you'd done your time, you're a changed character.
It was a special scheme you were part of.
I did fight a lot at school.
I think he was
but
overcharged.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going back and saying sorry to the people I fought at school, because that was all with me being in the right. I fought.
I love the way you've moved on.
Yeah.
No, but I was in the right. They were bullies, and in fact, maybe
What's wrong with that?
Maybe.
I'm joking. Can I say there is definitely something wrong with that?
Maybe I should find them and thank them, because they brought out my temper, which
they toughened you up. Now you can handle a rough and tumble stand-up comedy crowd.
Yeah, I wonder.
Well, you can ask. You see, Frank and I both, it's clear, made a decision to be with the cool kids, if you like.
Right.
Well,
We were both slightly clinging on by our fingertips in
there
different
weren't
ways.
actually any cool kids in our school, I don't think. But
What about that Freddie and the Dreamers with the glasses? He sounds nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Freddie and the Dreamers is not that cool to be a tribute act.
True.
You were made for me.
I
In
did.
case you don't know Freddie and the Dreamers' back catalogue.
I have thought of a sorry that I could say, but it wasn't accepted at the time, so I suspect it might not be now. When I was a younger man, when I was a younger man, I was once I was being uncommonly for me. I was being chatted up by a very attractive girl in Stoke-upon-Trent when I was. And I'd been drinking.
What age are you talking?
I think this would be in my early 20s.
Lovely.
And
you've been drinking, lovely.
I had been drinking, and I, whilst talking to this girl, I was getting quite excited, thinking, oh my God, it seems that she fancies me. She was asking me questions about myself, which is a big tell, isn't it?
I don't know. She was wearing a police uniform.
Not many girls had asked me questions about myself at that stage.
Okay.
What sort of basic biographical information?
Yeah, stuff like that, what you up to, that sort of thing. And I turned away to stifle a little gaseous burp that I had in the back of my throat, and I vomited through my fist. And adjacent to her. And and then I rushed off to the bathroom and cleaned myself up and came back to apologise. And whenever I said, "Oh, sorry about that," she just turned her back on me and just would not. Like, it was almost like cat and mouse. She just wouldn't. So I mean, I've already tried that apology, but I suppose I could get the gift crew to take me, find her, and maybe see if she'll accept it yet.
That's sickening.
Of course, the great payoff to this story is that Gaseous Burp changed his name to Muhammad Ali. became an icon.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Oh, I'll tell you what, occasionally on this show, we speak of mispronunciations.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a great fan of the mispronunciation. I love the idea that people can go through life hearing a word pronounced one way and they pronounce it another. And I know I did this myself with Stephen Gerrard.
We also had somebody saying last week when we were talking about birthdays, somebody texted saying...
They say birthdays.
Frank, it's birthday, not birthday, which is...
Birthday.
Well, you can't help that.
I'm sure I say birthday, don't I?
No.
What are
it's
these
their
people?
birthday. But it's
They'll be telling me in a minute.
Just for
It isn't
example.
Chimbley. Anyway, I was listening to this podcast, and this guy was talking about.
Oh, look at you with your podcast.
Oh
yeah, beyond the box sets next.
Oh, yeah. It was Zoella.
Never heard of it.
No, it wasn't.
She's a blogger who just got into
It
the
wasn't.
bloggers.
Yeah.
All right.
I just met her. Well, I didn't meet her actually. I
He's getting
saw her.
friendly with them now.
Yeah, they're a
Meet her
phenomenon. She's a
online?
phenomenon. She's an online phenomenon. I didn't meet her online.
No.
What are you getting at?
That's how you would meet a blogger, innit?
Yeah, but look, she did Bake Off, and I have.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Defensive.
so
Started it with look. Never a good sign. Look.
Yeah, so this guy was talking about writing for the BBC and, the whole process. And he was talking to a younger group of people. And he said, I didn't get it back from ages, and then they wanted this. He said, and I thought to myself, wow, these dudes are slow moving. And he meant dudes. And he thought you said it's
didn't.
dudes.
He didn't.
Oh, and I'm feeling it again now.
Oh.
I felt like somebody was just running a scrubbing brush up my back.
Nice.
Oh,
I don't like it.
That
Oh,
would
you
be
don't
all
like
right.
that?
I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
that.
I would
but
enjoy that.
No, I did that. Oh, don't. Oh, you said
Also,
Jews.
it sounds potentially offensive. I hope David Baddiel wasn't listening.
No, I don't think he meant
Close,
that.
yeah.
I'm sure he didn't mean that. But it reminded me when I was in a band once. We were rehearsing in a.
You weren't doing all the
church.
young Judes, were you?
Not all of them. I was doing my best. And this policeman turned up, and this was in the early 70s, and because there'd been a complaint about the noise coming from this church hall, and he did the community policing. All right, come on, lads, you have to turn it there. And he said, "So have you done any jigs yet?" Oh. But I was listening. Melvin Bragg.
Yes.
Melvin Bragg does. He does a Radio 4 thing where they take a subject from history every week, and he has experts on who talk about it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me there was a mispronunciation on Melvin Bragg.
No, what? It was amazing. They were talking about one of Bruegel's paintings. It's like Lenten and.
The very famous one.
Yes. Well, there's many, but anyway, they were talking about that. And I like a bit of Bruegel, so I thought I'll tune in. And they had a woman on they had a couple of experts. When I think she was the second or third expert, she said, well, the thing is with Bruegel,
Wow.
and I thought, why? And he didn't say anything. She kept saying
No,
Bruegel.
you'll find that'll be some obscure Flemish sort of regional pronunciation.
And she was just digging her toes
She's gone
in.
meta. She's gone meta, that's what she's done.
But everyone else on there was saying Bruegel, and she was saying Bruegel. Well, let's call the whole thing Flemish. But I think I've lost the audience with the Bruegel stuff.
You think so?
Oh, I don't know.
No, they're probably all
You do
enjoying
that
some
portrait
Bruegels right
show.
now.
Yeah.
Your man.
No, they're not those. They're like.
Oh, have I
they're not
really
those things with the
misunderstood
whole
this
thing.
whole
It's like a painting thing.
Oh, I thought it was a
Oh.
breakfast chat.
I'll tell you why this is playing.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text us on 81215. Tweet us at Frank on the Radio. Email us via the Absolute Radio website. I was looking for a bit of variety with that link.
We've had an email, actually.
We have more than one.
Yeah, we've had an email that I'd like to bring to your attention, guys. It's titled Bullying. Morning, guys. Not surprised Frank... Not surprised Frank and Emily had times in their childhoods when they were bullies. They still do it every week to Alan. When are you going to let him off the hook for Descartes?
Never.
There you
I don't know,
go.
maybe we should set a date, Descartes Day.
Well, that's a good idea,
It's the
yeah.
last time we
Is there
mentioned
a
it.
statute of limitations on Descartes?
That's a good idea.
If we find out when Descartes' birthday was, we can work. Oh, sorry, that's a different bloke. Now, Descartes, it's a little delivery
What's odd?
service that works round my way.
What's odd and rather unfair is that I did...
Life?
Wine Mariner.
Yes. And I don't get in as much trouble.
I know, it's amazing, really.
Yeah. Whereas I pronounce everything perfectly on the show.
Yep. It's your birthday.
That's the way. I don't say that. I really don't say that. Maybe it was like Burt Reynolds'
Very good
birthday and I was doing a
workout.
pod.
Join the bullying crew. No, don't.
that
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Be good in the bullying game.
Frank, we've had an email in which I rather enjoyed, which is a reference to the fact that you played a Gary Newman track at some point
Yes.
on one of our portals.
Our friends Electric.
Yeah. Paul Johnston has emailed us to say thanks for playing Our Friends Electric. Gary is great. This is Gary Newman. He used to live
Not Gary Newbon.
at the house behind my parents.
Ah.
His brother did puppet shows with him playing backing music on synth.
Oh, good. Oh,
When we
brilliant.
were kids, growing up in Stanwell in the 70s. Great times.
That's brilliant that Gary was still on the synth, though, even then.
Yes.
Can you imagine that? Hello, Charlie. Brilliant, Gary Newman, and still doing it.
Also brilliant for that person if someone says, "Oh, I'm a big fan of Gary Newman. Have you seen him?" And him saying, "Yeah, I've seen him play the
Seen him
accompaniment
live."
to puppet shows."
Seen him do a few gigs in our shed.
pretty exclusive work.
We've also had
marvellous.
a missive in from 163. Hi, guys. Okay, we'll let you off for hi, guys. In reference to singing Crazy Horses after
yes.
someone's name, which you often do, Frank. So
I
an
do.
example
I'm
of
gonna-
how you do it.
I'll give you an example if I can.
Don't you? Can you not say the name of anyone who's in the
No.
news in a controversial manner?
No, I won't do that. So
Okay.
it's sort of Gary Newman. That's how it works.
Okay, so 163 continues. If someone lists a load of places, I also sing pop music at the end.
I
Like-
do that.
Well, he says it's like London, Paris,
Yeah.
everybody talk about pop music. I work in a logistics place, so I get to sing it most days. That's Rob.
Yes. So if anyone says to me, "Yeah, I've been to like Bolton, Barnsley," I got everyone's talking about pop music. That's brilliant. We are brothers in that tune.
Lovely.
Just FYI, I'll never say I've been to Bolton, Barnsley,
No,
the Maldives.
unless they start opening restaurants in London named after northern towns and cities.
That's a good idea.
Pretty unlikely.
That would be good.
Pretty unlikely, I think. So, just scratching. So, are any of us going to see 50 Shades of Grey?
Big week for you and your friends in the S&M community, isn't
Well,
it?
you say that, but we were so let down by 12 Years a Slave.
No.
um,
What are you doing?
Well, nowhere near enough chains. I mean, we were, but so I think
What's wrong with you?
I think this one is going to be too. It'll be too shiny. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think so?
Oh yeah.
I think it looks good.
I don't like the.
It looks good, as if
think it
you're
looks
going to
good.
shell out for Mrs. Cockerell to go and see that. You wouldn't even buy her a
there's
card. You wouldn't even say
there's
Happy Valentine's
that
Day.
bloke on the market that sells them in envelopes.
Yeah.
Like a Ken Loach film, your Valentine's
Yeah,
Day.
I'll just wait a year and get it from the calf.
Do you know,
Are
they
you
had
going
to
to
put
go?
on
eh?
extra screening. Am I going to go? Of course I'm not going to go.
Sure. Okay.
We're going Sunday. No,
yeah.
no, I'm not going. I might watch it. I haven't read the books.
No.
Me neither.
My dad bought them for me.
Did he?
Yes, it was a strange birthday present a few years back. All 3 volumes. I didn't read them because I worry that it might read a bit like, you know, when something's been translated like via Babelfish or something on the computer.
Yes.
I think it might read a bit like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll enjoy the film, but Simon Cowell's going.
Yes, he is.
Lock up your daughters.
I'm going to play some nice music, and then we talk about this. I've got
balance.
I have a serious problem with the whole phenomenon.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're talking about 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be going. Will you be going, Frank?
No.
Okay.
I
Quite
tell
like
you.
the look of it.
I'll tell you for why. I don't like. I'll tell you what. It's sort of. I think it's the middle class version of a dirty film.
Yeah.
The way that.
Oh, here we go.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
That's not a dirty film.
No, it was a kung fu film for middle class people. 'Cause
Yeah.
they didn't want to go and watch Enter the Dragon or Kung Fu the Head Crusher.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. If people must have these things, they should go to the internet and dig deep.
All football films are for middle class people as well.
Yes, definitely.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
But these are for people who think that sexual liberation is best symbolised by the Wicked Willy calendar.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's not what it's about. So I won't be
That's
going.
not what it's about for you and
Do
your
you
friends,
feel like
is
an
it?
early Smiths fan?
I am an early Smith fan.
No, in the sense that you were there first.
Well, I had so had that with Eminem. I'll tell you that. I went to see Eminem at
then
the
it was
Astoria
S&M.
at a little gig, yeah. and then by the time I saw him at Wembley, there was kids with dyed hair, little tiny kids with dyed hair and big white T-shirts on, and one leg rolled up. Anyway, so no, I don't. And as we were saying this morning, the people doing this, the people in the film, do not look like the sort of people who generally get
No.
involved in these activities.
You mean that they're attractive?
What do you mean?
Well, because of the people I know who have, and this is breakfast radio, so you have to be careful, but the sort of, swinging and piercing and all that. And the,
Look at Pierce. You can't
Piercing.
suggest that
No.
they
Pierce,
behave in
Maybe
that way.
maybe that was wrong. I'll take them out. I'm just trying to think of clean things I can refer. But those groups,
Yeah.
nearly everyone involved in them,
We're allowed to say BDSM, I believe.
all that, yeah, they mainly look like John Prescott. and as for the men, God, that's such an old comedy trope.
I know, but you know what? It landed.
No,
Yeah.
but do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
And I like that. I like
The women
that
all look a
because-
bit like Elton John, don't
Well,
they?
I think they, because that seems to work. I don't think people like the Dakota. What's she called? Dakota Channing.
Is that her name?
I don't know.
No.
Somebody else.
Griffith. Johnson. She's Don Johnson's daughter, isn't
Oh,
she?
that's
we're,
right,
We're,
yeah.
going, we're going well with this. And the bloke, I think, is
Jamie Dornan. He used to go out with Keira Knightley.
Yeah, he's a Calvin Klein model ex.
You
He
are.
used to, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
No, I think he's
Sorry, not.
Calvin Classics, I heard.
Oh,
was
that's
it?
the Calvin
Yeah.
Classics model.
Yeah, that's what I could be.
I just think if you're going to go down that road,
Yeah.
you've got to have a bit of money, let's be honest.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, I just think there's nothing someone taking you around B&Q to get bits and
There's a lot of
bobs.
talk
I
of
think
B&Q in this story. A lot of
Yeah.
talk of B&Q. Simon Cowell banging on about, then we'll be going to B&Q. And
What do people get from B&Q that they think can be used in...
I think
Oh my
duct
God,
tape,
naive much?
duct tape and rope,
Oh, all that stuff.
all that stuff. So if my wife said to me, we're going to go and watch
My wife.
50 Shades of Grey,
Just a bit of a BDSM material.
and then we're going to B&Q, I'd be worried. I wouldn't be worried that there would be some kind of kinky behaviour following it. I'd worry about the DIY that I might have to do
exactly.
at some point in the
Never go.
future.
What about when I went to B&Q and I just bought a flat and I saw these lights with like metal grids over them and I thought these are great. I'm going to get these in, put these in every room. I love them. They're really sort of like craft work, neo-industrial. So I bought these. And I said, I'm going to put... so I was talking to the person who was with me in the queue. I said, so I'm going to put one in the kitchen and one in the... And the bloke on the thing says, them for a garage. I said, sorry, he said, them for a garage. I said, I know normally they are, but I'm gonna put them in, the living room and stuff. And there was a long pause, and he said, them for a garage. Terrible, immovable rigidity. The Guardian.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
We have a thing on this show called idiotic eureka moments, when you don't get something until much, much, much later. So,
Yes.
Sooty and Sweep are both sort of ponds on chimney sweeping. But it just struck me for the first time that 50 Shades is called that because he knocks 50 Shades out of her. Is that not right?
Is it? Someone will let us know,
No, I
won't they?
don't think it is that, Frank.
Okay.
I mean, the lead
Fits
character is...
perfectly.
That's not what it is.
The lead character is called Christian Grey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which I think is a shade on the Dulux colour chart. I think we did our skirting boards, Christian Grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
look
think that
nice.
was. I think that
They're
was.
good.
All these
I like
women
the-
that's what
fancy
it
that
is.
Jamie Dornan.
You've got
I
a
don't
nerve.
get it, me.
You've got a nerve having Christian Grey in your house.
Exactly.
Isn't there an atheist black?
That's what we should have gone for.
to use?
It didn't work with the walls, which we'd gone for the agnostic yellow. But I don't know. We can keep doing these if we want to get to all 50 if you want. With 47 to
I like
go.
Heathen Green.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That's what I've got, Frank.
I found the walls came tumbling down.
My wife gets very vexed about this what film, the 50 Shades of Grey film. She said she got really annoyed the other day, saying, "I wish the papers had stopped calling it mummy porn. I hate that phrase." And
can you say it? Can you say
I think
on there?
I think so.
You can say that. Yeah.
But it made me immediately think of like the big creatures with bandages on. I thought, well, it'll sell a lot of tickets in Egypt,
What
won't
do you
it?
mean, like these creatures?
Mummy on the Orient Express. Yes, indeed.
Frank.
Frank's got a T-shirt with a mummy.
Sadly,
on
I've
it.
got a T-shirt with the Doctor Who episode on it that I was in.
I don't know
Yeah.
what quite to say about that. I mean, what if I wore the Triffids t-shirt?
I'd be
Yeah,
happy with that.
Would you?
yeah. What if
Where
I
did you
wore
get-
an
did you get sent-
Always and Everyone T-shirt?
Yeah.
Conveniently ignoring Fine again. The elephant in the room. But yeah, two mummies getting off with each other wouldn't be a box office smash, would it? Although you would be able to say, "Hey, you two, get a tomb." Get a tomb. Get a tomb.
It's good. I like it.
Thanks.
I'm happy with that.
I'm pleased. We've had a text in, actually. It's quite a serious one, I'll warn
Okay.
you. People shouldn't watch 50 Shades because of its BDSM. They shouldn't watch it because the main guy is emotionally manipulative and abusive to the girl, and it's a poor example of true BDSM. From a BDSM purist, I'm guessing.
Well, I think that could be a fair point.
Yeah, yes,
What
I
do you
agree.
think, as someone within the community, Frank, as a spokesperson for the community, how do you feel about
I
this?
think this person makes a valid point. That kind of psychological control thing is a bit bleak.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
I mean, it's
God,
not
don't
for
we get
me.
enough from advertising? This is commercial radio, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. We can change that. Can we change that in the
Frank, what's
still life?
What's Mike Reid going to think of this?
Relax. Oh, don't play that.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
So we read that text about BDSM a moment ago, and we've had a follow-up answer from Neil in Penge saying that BDSM bloke...
That was the command that he was given.
He's saying that BDSM bloke is bound to say that.
Oh, very good. I don't know
like
if it
that.
was. Was it a bloke?
I don't know. That's a good point, actually. Yeah,
But no, I'm happy with the pun.
don't assume. And I believe we're about to...
Because if you assume,
yeah,
you
you get all sorts of things
don't
wrong.
Say that.
Yeah, I'm still a bit embarrassed about me saying what you're looking at when you're looking at my
what that
picture.
song was
Frank
playing.
just...
Al
mean-
suddenly looked at me and went, "What are you looking at?" took me back
What's
to
going on?
1978 in Birmingham.
Can I be honest? I was into it.
It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It was a
actually
bit-
looking
I
at
need
Al's
more of that
T-shirt.
guy.
Do you know what it was? It was a bit Top Gun.
Yeah.
What was going on between you
With
two?
Top Gear.
Anyway, I believe we're going to take a wander into email corner. I think we should.
yeah,
We
I'll
haven't
see.
for
Let's
ages.
see if I'm still... Here we go.
Nice.
Mixing on
I
the...
like that. You were scratching earlier, so we've got mixing and scratching.
I love that bit at the
Brilliant.
end. It's all gone a bit
Like a
whiplash.
DJ.
Was that that cartoon used to be on The Simpsons?
Itchy and scratchy.
Oh, that's mixing and scratching. Okay.
Dear Frank, Emily and Alan, after listening to Frank's story about the game of I Spy with Buzz on the bus...
I should say this.
yeah.
That Buzz said... Buzz does colours instead of letters. He doesn't know letters yet. Buzz is my 2.5-year-old. So he said, I Spy might like something beginning with Grey. Mm-hmm. And Christian Grey had just got on.
Yeah?
Now
What are the chances?
And then he said, Daddy's hair. Which was
know.
quite a tough moment for me.
Ouchie. Anyway, he says, after listening to that story, I thought I'd make Frank feel better. I took my 4-year-old son for a haircut, and I asked him how he would like it cutting. He looked up at me and said, I'd like my hair cut like yours, Daddy. He paused for just a second before adding, with a hole in the back.
Oh.
Thanks, Tom.
Oh,
I
that's
think that
harsh.
means he's a balding gentleman.
Yes.
But,
He might be a Franciscan.
I hope he then...
yeah, could have been asking for a tonsure.
I
Yeah.
hope he then did say to the hairdresser, could you just shave a little chunk out the back of his
that'll
head? 'Cause
teach him
that's
to
what
be
he
a
wants.
cheeky
Yeah.
monkey.
What my boy wants, he
Cheeky
gets.
monk.
Cheeky monk.
With the Franciscans, Frank, What came first, the haircut or the pledging themselves to the religious order?
Oh, I think that was all part of the pledge that they'd be recognised in the community, I think was the idea.
Okay.
What about the Capuchin monks who wore...
But they have chocolate on the top.
But this is it. They wore a grey, pointy hood on their habit.
You're glad with that?
And that's where Cappuccino gets its name from,
Shut
because it's
up.
got that pointy top on the
Shut
coffee
up.
thing. That's
No.
honestly definitely
Oh, what
true.
about the lattes?
Yeah. And the Vimtos. Do you remember the Vimtos? They're a very small order in the north of England.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I had quite a large order for Vimto in our house. Yeah, that's... it's never caught on, has it? The people shaving their head to make them look bald.
No.
You know, people shave their heads completely, but you know the sort of nerd look, like Jarvis Cocker
Yes.
wearing glasses and a card.
Yeah.
They never shaved their heads and like constructed a comb over. You know, thought let's look bald. That's like the last non-cool thing left is to look like those bald with a bit of hair around the back. That's what I'm gonna. Should we do it?
Yeah, I'd be up for that.
I'd love
It's
to
like that
start that
November.
trend. Start that trend so people shave their heads to look like Philip Larkin.
I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, let's do it. You go first.
All right.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We're still in email corner. Let's move on to Wilco's correspondence.
Oh, okay. Wilco.
Having been on the beach for the day, I return. I like that he dispenses with the hi Frank.
No,
Goes
that's good.
straight in.
I like that.
Boom.
He's, you
I
know,
get so annoyed on telly when somebody comes on and says, "How are you? Oh, I'm all right. How are you?" I think, "Oh, why are you doing this bit?
oh, lovely to be here.
It's just dead air." Carry on.
Well, I think he's gone a bit 50 Shades of Grey. There's no pleasantries here.
Okay.
He's straight in. Having been on the beach for the day, I returned to the car only to find I'd lost the keys.
Oh.
Having spent 20 minutes, he likes the word having, vainly searching the huge expanse of sand, my then girlfriend, offered up a prayer to St Anthony,
Ah.
turned round on the spot 3 times, and within seconds, located the keys a few metres away.
Fantastic.
So what's the deal with St
Conclusive
Anthony?
proof.
Oh,
Conclusive fruit. So you say
3 times,
fantastic.
Frank.
St.
I thought
Anthony.
this sounds like witchcraft.
It does. This is one of the
Yeah.
few anecdotes when I've heard someone say, so she turned around and said, blah, blah, blah. But she actually did. Literally turned around.
Literally. You like this,
St.
do you?
Anthony is... I was talking about I lost my keys to the back door. I couldn't shut the back door. And
Tell me about it.
And I said a friend of mine always prays to St. Anthony if he loses anything,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he's the patron saint of lost things. And so this person has picked up on that.
Does he do careers?
I genuinely find it troubling that this person can turn around 3 times, pray to St Anthony, and then is allowed to drive a motorised vehicle. That's ridiculous, surely.
What? We're
Because
talking
they're
about
believing in fairies finding their keys for them, and then they can
Fairies?
operate heavy machinery.
fairies.
Unbelievable.
Oh, he won't like this.
I'm not expecting him to like it, but, you know,
Remember, those-
it is my thoughts on it.
Those who dance are thought mad by those who cannot hear the music.
Have you seen Frank dancing?
Yeah. Seems I can't hear the music either. So what was it? Is that the whole...
That's the email, yeah, from Wilco.
We've also had 623.
Is it possible that she sneaked in a metal detector?
Maybe. Now you're talking my language.
Yes, it is possible, but I find it extraordinary that you're the one
Yeah, I like it.
doubting Thomas over there.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I've let the whole side down.
My work here is done.
Well, it will be if you carry on like this.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alan Cochrane. Text the show on 8 12 15. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show via the Absolute Radio website. I went a bit Jeff Stelly. If you're bored, you go, in the middle of a sentence.
I'll tell you who might be emailing us.
Oh, yeah.
The Queen. girlfriend's got Facebooked up.
What?
Did you read that? The royals are on social media now.
Oh, God, this makes sense.
Queen's on
Social media.
Facebook. Well, I say the Queen, it's Prince Andrew, who he's
Took a photo of the Queen.
Yeah, and himself, and hisself.
Well, I would say a big thank you, first of all. I'd completely forgot that Prince Edward existed.
What about Alice Beer?
Oh, yeah,
she
he's got
existed.
her as well.
Yeah, when did he take these photos?
8 years ago.
I don't know.
8 years ago.
It was
He
like
just found them
1996
somewhere.
all over
I
again.
never posted these.
All they needed was you and David Baddiel to turn up.
Well, now
Tony Hadley was there.
Tony Hadley.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since the Sonys when he ate my dinner.
He ate your dinner?
Yeah, two
Tony
dinners
Hadley
Hadley.
ate my dinner.
Do you know what? I've realised a thing about myself this week. Somebody was talking about their appetite and how much they'd eaten, and it made me genuinely happy. And this is a very strange, specific thing about me, that I somehow get, like, endorphins released when I hear about people's appetites being big. Why is that? But the fact that Tony Hadley ate 2 dinners just has made me feel genuinely joyous.
Said you leaving that, Em? I said, and I didn't have a chance to properly respond, and it was down. Down, yeah.
Ah, brilliant.
He said, if you leave it any longer, it'll get cold. Always. Yes, but Prince Edward, I honestly had forgotten it. How did he get the job of being the royal? Doesn't have to go anywhere or do anything.
That's a good
No, he
gig,
doesn't do
actually, isn't it?
nothing.
Yeah, not
He used to
bad.
work for the, ironically enough, the really useful theatre group, didn't he?
That's taking the mickey, wasn't he? I bet you at that do he was introduced to the Queen and she had no idea who he was. He said, "Hello, Mummy. What did you call me?"
Countess of Wessex, as I believe they're known, those two.
Imagine that, the Queen. Who are you?
She had on VB. I was told.
Countess
That's
of
right.
Wessex.
Victoria Beckham dress, 2000. Not one of my favourites from the collection, I
Is
won't
that
lie.
right? She had on a VB.
Yeah, she had on VB.
She had a VB LBD. That's what it was.
They talked about her understated curves. I like that. That's what they call it.
Am I right in saying that that Wessex is a fictional?
I thought it was
I
Thomas
believe it
Hardy,
is.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
I think it did exist, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
It's
think
like
so.
an Anglo-Saxon thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist now. It was in Thomas Hardy, you're right.
I did enjoy
so.
the Daily Mail commenter that had put it's spelt Essex, somewhat misunderstanding the point.
It's what?
It's not spelt Wessex, it's Essex. They thought it was a typo in the story.
Well, it's like being the Duke of Atlantis.
Isn't it? Why not?
That's a mini-series I'd watch.
But how did
Yeah.
they get to be the Countess of something that doesn't exist?
Well,
Someone will know.
I don't know. but
Anyone
that's
out
a good.
there?
Is that today's texting?
Yes.
It's taken us a while to stumble on one, but it's a good one.
Sophie Wessex, as they call her. I love that as well. She became Sophie
when they
Wessex.
sign off,
Introduced to the Queen, and she said, "Oh yes, Sophie Wessex, hold me close, don't let me go."
He was on
no,
this show
Mummy.
once.
Mummy, it's my wife. Who are you? I'll ask you again. Who are you?
you know, they sign off their pictures with their initials.
Yes.
The Royals.
The Royals, so
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you know, like when Anton Deck, because they have an official Twitter account, for example, with
Anton Deck
social
do?
media. Yes, and they have they share. It's called @Anton Deck or something.
I've been
Okay.
really stalling on joining the social media, but now that might be the clincher. I might join now.
You know what, darling? I think that ship has sailed. You don't mind me saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've left it too late now.
Yeah, I think
you
you're
can't
right.
join
Oh, I
now
thought
because you don't
meant
have enough
Anton
followers.
Deck. Oh dear.
Yeah.
You haven't got enough followers. That's the trouble.
That's fine.
You'd have a 3-day period where you'd only have like 1,000.
Oh, I'd be all right with 12. 12 followers would do me.
Work for Jesus.
Exactly, yeah. That's what I was referring to.
Was it? Oh, you're making a lot of religious references today.
Sorry. Well, there was an email about St Anthony. I like the fact that he'd put AY at the end, the
Yeah,
Duke of
AY.
York. He put a family
AY.
photo before we join
Andrew York.
the
of
guests.
course.
Yeah, so at the end of the thing it just said AY, but I thought it was a bit like Ali G, that he'd finished his text and he was putting I. I just thought it was him being a bit word up.
It's a different world.
And I like the fact that they posted a photo of the Queen from her private apartments on Facebook. They're not anymore, are they? They're pretty public apartments now. Everyone's seen the decor.
Was that the party was in a private apartment?
Yeah, they had one of those Facebook parties. They invited everyone. And loads of people turned up.
Oh, okay. Was Zoella there?
Frank, what about relationship status? Duke of Edinburgh? It's complicated.
It's complicated.
You're listening to Frank Skinner's podcast from Absolute Radio.
Now, you know we've been talking about this St Anthony character
Yes.
and the keys or whatever. 999 says, "Hi all, call me a cynic, but do you think the girlfriend who found, close quotes, the keys after doing a twirl might have had them all along?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what's your evidence?
In a
You
sort
don't
of-
know the people. You don't know the situation.
What's your evidence? That from a religious person.
I'm not claiming evidence.
We've also had Neil in Penge, brackets Salford. I think he might be on the road.
Neil in Penge again.
Yeah, saying...
Told you, Neil in Penge, whether you like it or not.
he's saying, how good is this St Anthony at Rhodes? I'm lost and can't find Bately. St Tom has deserted me. Frank, he's your mate. Can you ask him if it's near Salford? And are you guys broadcasting a rattling sound? Thought not. My day's about to get worse.
Oh, no, he's
does
got
that mean as in his,
he's in his vehicle.
There's a rattlesnake in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, sounds like his turbo's on the go. Yeah.
Or he's
Think so?
driving and, no, Mr T's in the passenger seat.
The one thing I used to know about a car is if it sort of went zzz, you're going to have fan belt. Fan belt's
belts.
gone. Oh, that was sort of my one bit of
And
male
then I'd always
knowledge.
think, I've got to pull over, use my stockings.
Yeah.
Exactly. Me too.
Yeah.
I should update you guys. Last week we were discussing my forthcoming birthday celebrations, weren't we?
Now gone.
All gone. I'm a week older. My son, the day after my 40th birthday, said, "Are you 41 now?" Because he was 40 in one day.
Oh dear, I'm glad it doesn't work like that.
I'm glad it doesn't work like that. But
I won't have them in my life.
something has come up that has
Well, you're
started to
lucky.
trouble me.
You're lucky at 40.
I got
Sorry, everyone.
I got given.
It's a bit Davrovian.
Oh, I get it now. I got given
I got it then.
a tome of a book from
Oh.
my friend Daniel. Bought me a big hardback.
I know which Daniel that is, because I'm a fan of his.
And my wife bought me a
What
paperback.
book was it?
Well, I can't remember the title of the one Daniel got me. It's
The Bible.
It's by a writer that I know that
The
I
Bible?
like. No, not that one. Not that one. And my
quite
wife
right,
bought me
okay.
a paperback as well. And
I like these are just it's what they're made of rather than what the actual books
He
are.
doesn't know what they're called. You like 7?
Actually, my wife had bought me the book
I got
by...
3 books, a brown one, a red one.
Ironically enough, last week when we talked about me seeing the film American Sniper, she bought me the book that it's based on, but weeks before I had seen the film, not knowing that, just because it's meant to be a good book. So, 2 more books now staring me in the face,
Yeah.
and there's already a huge pile of books by my bed that I'm in the middle of, and previously she's bought me all of Joe Nesbo, like some pacey
50
thrillers.
Shades, Vols
yeah.
I haven't
1
got
through
50
3.
Shades, but pacey thrillers I quite like for on the road. They're good. You don't have to, mentally exert. I'm probably in the
There
middle
must
of...
be an American actress called Pacey Thrillers.
She
I
sounds nice.
imagine, I think you like a book with a samurai sword on the front.
Oh, that sounds good.
Do you know what I mean?
Probably
Yeah.
got some of those.
Yeah.
I bet
But,
he's a McNab man.
Oh, yeah.
A silhouette and a samurai sword, and then you're
Yeah,
good to
I'd
go.
have that. I'd have that. But I think I might be in the middle of about 100 books, and it's...
Oh my
When
god.
you say in the middle, do you mean 16 pages in?
Yeah, I've sort of abandoned a few.
Bit of paper after the first chapter.
I'm not sure I'll ever go back to Cloud Atlas, the David Mitchell one.
Do you know I didn't get along with that either?
Ben Ockery, The Famished Road. I'm not going back there.
the sound of that.
Oh no, that's one of our favourite books in
I
InStyle
know how
magazine.
that'll be.
We hold that up, Frank, as our Bible in InStyle, The Famished Road.
I bet you do.
But I'm now having to start to prioritise books. I mean, I've got a few loaned books that I need to start on, because they need to go back, don't they, at some point? In fact, I think I've got one of your books in the bit in between the bedroom and the bathroom.
I know it.
What we call the vestibule.
Okay.
There's just one of yours. I think it's Pompeii or something Pompeii.
I didn't know he wrote that.
No, not you writing it. One that you've
Frankie
lent.
Howard, you're thinking of.
One that you've lent out.
Wrong, Frankie.
Oh, no!
I'm going to have to start on loaned books and then work my way through to actual books that I own.
Pompeii.
How are we going to read them all before we die?
having a
Exactly.
breakdown?
How are we going to do it,
No, but it's
Frank?
really worrying me. And I haven't even started on the periodicals. Maybe you should play a song and then I'll get
Well,
to
let's
the
play some
periodicals.
adverts and maybe we can read during it.
The Frank Skinner Show. Listen live every Saturday morning from 8 on Absolute Radio.
I just got a text from my girlfriend. Says, I left you flowers and a card by the door and you didn't see it.
Oh, isn't that lovely,
Now, that
though?
could be a very clever ruse, couldn't it?
Are you sure it's meant for you?
Oh. But you think it was the outside of the door. You think she's seeing the milkman?
What do you
How
think?
fabulous
That
in
would be a very
1970.
confessions thing to do, Robin
Is she going
Asquith.
to the door in just a negligee?
I mean, to be honest, if I hadn't got you Valentine's stuff and you were leaving the house at 6-something a.m. to come to do this radio show, I would probably have sent you a text saying, I left you card and flowers by the door and you didn't see it. And then I'd barrel out to the
No,
shops
it's exactly.
to get...
I'm wondering if it's that.
Says the man who won't even say Happy Valentine's.
No, there's no point. I'm nice to her the whole year. That's how we work. That's what we do. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys going, no, it's just for the card makers to make a load
Just
of money.
saying I
but-
got theatre tickets, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got flowers and a card.
Apparently.
And then after the show, I'm going to get a car to Adrian Childs' house so we can watch West Brom West Ham.
Well, that's romantic.
Yeah.
That is your Valentine.
I did say she can come over for the second half.
She brings snacks or something.
She doesn't have to bring snack. No, it's Valentine's Day. Just bring yourself.
Oh, can you imagine Adrian will buy you flowers? All right, mate, Happy Valentine's.
Adrian's cooking and everything. He's
Is he?
he's
Having a
doing
romantic meal.
He's doing a traditional South African dish.
Is he?
Yeah.
What is that then?
Sausages and mesh. No, it's I'll tell you what it is. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me revealing this. He's doing babotti.
How dare you? I've had surgery to fix that.
He sent me a text. You fancy babotti, a classic South African dish, which is a winning combination of minced lamb spiced with an element of sweetness added by dried fruit and mango chutney. That's the
sounds
sort of text I
great.
get from Adrian Child.
That
I think
sounds
it's very
excellent.
sweet he's gone to such an effort for you.
No, it's lovely.
Do you know what? You've just reminded me. I've got an Adrian Childs book on the shelf as well. I've got
Cookbook?
Oh, he should write a cookbook.
He could write a cookbook. Why not? Everyone else seems to, don't they? People firing
Cheese
out
and
cookbooks.
Childs.
Cheese and Childs.
Yeah.
Emily, you wouldn't have that. You'd say no chives, no childs.
Oh, no chives.
I
Yeah.
Too many
on,
books.
on the books front, by the way, when we were talking about dystopian novels.
Yes.
Oh, that's another thing.
Calm down, dear.
I found that piece of paper that I scribble sometimes during the show, and I was scribbling
Neville
ideas.
Chamberlain again.
Wondered what he did during the show.
I found a bit of paper with, the stuff that we were talking about, and like a little list of dystopian novels that I must read one
Something
day.
else
'cause-
to read.
Yeah.
Well, can I add another?
Oh,
Come on.
God, really?
I just read Ridley Walker by Russell Hoban, which
That's
I would
just a
say,
load of old names.
I would say one of the great novels I've ever read.
Really?
Not only is it a
Great
brilliant
novels.
novel, but the bloke has invented a language to write it in.
No.
It's fantastic.
Well, I mean-
and there's a Mr. Punch element. I'm not giving. That's not a spoiler because he's on the cover. And I always used to think that because I can do that. Naughty, naughty, naughty. That's the way to do it. I could maybe go into Punch and Judy work.
Something to fall back
Apparently, it's been very constrained by political correctness. Now.
Funny that.
Yeah, vegetarian sausages. And
Frank-
that's the least of it.
Can I?
I'll tell you the rest after. But the stick, the wife, the baby in the frying pan, that's all gone.
Yeah.
Like the tone of regret.
Tough times for the Punch and Judy
it is,
wannabe.
Yeah, it is. It is tough. They're up against it. So they say you can take the animals out the circus and it'll be rubbish.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Can I ask a question?
You can ask.
How many pages into a new book, are you allowed to abandon it? I mean,
Well,
if
this
you
is
use
a-
a bad relationship guide,
I have
Give it a month.
Some people say you should finish every book you start, even if you're not enjoying it.
I don't
That's
agree
a
with
terrible
that.
idea.
Really bad.
Samuel Johnson, the 18th century writer, said that would be like every person you meet you have to stay friends with.
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Yeah, which that would be terrible.
Yes, that's a good point.
It is like reading new books is a bit like making new friends. I've got enough.
I think if you are... I once spoke to someone who did like a big book award judging thing, and she said that they sort of... They read 50 pages. And if they thought if a book hasn't got you in 50 pages, it's not going to get you. And I think 50 is liberal.
Yeah. That's a lot.
I'm having a lovely time with Rob Lowe at the moment.
I'll tell you what I do.
Very good writer, his
Lovely time with
autobiography.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I'm reading his autobiography. It's very
That
good.
sounds good, yeah.
Did he write Good Will Hunting?
No.
Okay. I tend to judge them mainly by their covers.
Yes, people say you shouldn't do that. But
Yeah.
it's not a bad system. It tells
exactly.
you quite a lot about the book, often.
Yeah.
But you read magazines too, don't you? So how you find
Yes,
the
can
time?
I recommend the Tablet, the Roman Catholic Weekly?
Not for me.
He says putting Closer and Chat in his bag every week.
Yes.
Who, Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, I've been picking up a free Mojo or a Q from here, because
I should explain, we're owned by a major magazine publisher, so
Yes.
we get some free
I think I'm
magazines.
going to have to stop doing that, because I've also got subscriptions to The Week, which is like a weekly
Can you not
roundup of
mention
the news.
magazines that aren't published?
I'm afraid I'll
by-
have to.
Oh,
Men's Health,
Oh,
Health,
no.
which my
Just
wife,
Wants freebies.
my wife subscribed me to Men's Health.
You're very Men's
and
Health.
then when it
Your wife
arrives,
subscribed you to Men's Health?
she subscribed me
What
to
a
it.
slap
we
in the
know what-
face that is.
Even worse,
I'm
when
glad
it,
that sentence ended that way.
when it arrives and I read it, she then takes the mick out of me for being the kind of guy that reads Men's Health. I'm thinking, well, you got me it.
It's
I'm
a
only
trap.
reading it. Yeah,
What
it's
else?
a trap.
Paleo Monthly.
Philosophy Now, she's subscribed me to as a gift, which I think will be nice.
That's good. I've subscribed, Kath, to Charlie Buchan's Football Monthly.
Nice. And my mum's signed me up for Motorcycle News as well. I just got too many things to
Get
read.
that here, that's one of ours.
No, it's stopped. They've stopped putting it out, and I've
I'll
got
tell
it as
you
a
what
gift.
you like. Kung Fu Teens.
You know what I'm going to stop doing? I'm just going to stop
That's
reading
between
anything. I'm going to stop reading stuff that isn't books and magazines, like road signs or ingredients lists or recipes or labels. I'm
That's
just going
a
to
good
cut
idea.
out all reading except books and magazines. That's the only way to deal with this.
I've had that Donna Tart in my bag for about 6 months.
Must
It'll have gone off.
Congratulations.
It's a draw. It's a tie.
It's a handshake.
definitely a
We'll leave
tie.
it there.
Skinner, Dean, and Cochrane. Together, The Frank Skinner Show.
Absolute Radio.
I also should very quickly tell you that I received a wristwatch for my birthday from my mum, so I'd like to thank
Oh,
her.
that's what you got from your mum.
But it's, last week we were talking about our thin
Let's see it
wrists,
again.
and we even
Because I'm
put
embarrassed. I saw it earlier, Alan, and what did I say? I said, it's not that bad, really.
it on. Yeah, which I find offensive because I like it. But,
I like
and
it.
It is
It's a
chunky
it's
though.
a
It's
man's
quite an
watch.
action man watch.
don't mind it
is
at all.
quite, it's got a compass in it. I don't think I'll ever use that. I've got sat nav, but yeah, it's quite chunky. And you said that some links had been taken out of one that you were wearing for a television job.
Yes.
I went to get this adjusted because when I first opened it, I think I could have put it on my thigh, and it still would have slid off. It
Would
would
not be all right for Lent.
yeah, I don't get that.
It's like a there's Celice at the.
No,
Have you seen the Da Vinci Code?
no,
Tough room, darling.
yeah, it's the
like,
least of my worries.
Very good. It's like a barbed wire garter
Oh,
that
okay.
people wear to remind
Yeah.
them that the physical body is not the most important thing.
Well, anyway, I took it to the shop
Okay.
to get some links out, and
yeah.
and the guy took them out one at a time. Came back, still baggy. Went back in.
Oh,
came
no.
back,
Say
still
when.
baggy.
How
Oh, I
embarrassing.
thought I was going to be there for the whole afternoon. 3 links he took out in order to put it on my wrist.
You
My
must have
tiny, puny
You
wrist.
must have been praying for a bit of water retention.
Well, that's what I'm using Men's Health for, to try and bulk up my forearms, so I end up with skinny wrists and huge forearms.
It looks like it fits
can be
very
done.
snug fit now.
Well, no, it fits now, but I still feel like the rest of my arm should be bigger to sort of make it seem less chunky.
Someone bought me, you know when you see an old war veteran with a line of medals, big line of medals on his chest on like a bar? They bought me a set of, you know those nurses upside down watches?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Set of those on a bar with the times of all the major capitals.
Oh, that's good.
That's useful for you.
That's nice.
So I don't wear it for work. That's why I haven't got it on now. But if I'm going to an event, I'll wear it.
An event? When are you going to an event?
Well, I'm going to the opening night of Sweeney Todd. At the
All
English
right.
National Opera.
You could wear it for travel.
You could. Yeah, when I'm off to do my research in my novel in Pompeii.
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
What about just now? We discovered what all women want, which is Daisy
what they all find
raised the
attractive.
subject of. She said, "What about when men take their t-shirt off by yanking it from behind, basically
Yeah, so you put your hand over your shoulder, grab your T-shirt, and with one
over
hand,
your head?"
and then pull it off.
Yeah.
I think Nadal was.
Oh, all the tennis
example.
players do it. Daisy said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Do I like it?" I came over quite peculiar.
Yeah.
Quite
Sarah in the
peculiar
studio
is
liked
the
it.
name of the runner.
Frank attempted to do it,
Yeah.
and it was awful. I can't believe you just said that.
No, I can't
Frank,
either. I don't know where to look.
Goodbye, everyone.
Even on radio, I don't know where to look.
Frank attempted to do it, and I wept tears of pathos.
Yes, I couldn't get my arm anywhere
He
near
couldn't
far enough.
physically do it.
I barely got past my hair.
I'll tell you what, it's amazing though.
See, they can talk like this, though, but we can't talk like this anymore. If I said, that moment when you give a woman a bit of a hog and you feel a bit of buckling at the
I think
back.
you should stop there. I think you should
If I
stop
said
there.
that'll be regarded as...
I'm going to be requesting that this weekend.
Lecce.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's tough being a man in the modern era.
Lecce Valeska.
Cafe con leche. Thank you very much.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. Don't know what it means, but it
No, I've
sounds
not
good.
understood anything for ages.
Coffee
now.
with milk,
Oh, nice.
I believe, yeah.
I'll tell you what excited me this week,
Uh-oh.
big time, is when I replied to Adrian Charles's text, I wrote manana,
Oh, yeah.
means tomorrow. And I don't know if you've ever done that on a text.
Did you do a kiss?
No, but if you do, I didn't. If you do, I don't. It was early. I wasn't sure he'd have cleaned his teeth. But I sent manana, and if you do manana on a text, try it.
Oh, does it give you the little
It
thing?
gives you the little thing on the top.
It's
the
not
little
an
squiggle.
amount, is it? What
It's a
is it?
squiggle.
Oh,
It's called.
squiggle,
I
yeah.
think.
Called it a
yeah.
squiggle.
That's what they call it.
Accent?
Le squiggle.
Would it be called an
El
accent?
squiggle, I think they call it in Spain.
Were you excited? I would have loved
I
that.
love it. Sometimes I send manana even if I'm not seeing people the next day. Oh, I'd recommend that. So thank you very much for listening, and if the good Lord spares us and the creeks don't rise, we'll be back again this time next week. And so,
Manana.
yeah, get out.
The Frank Skinner Show on Absolute Radio. Back Saturday morning from 8. Tune in live for the full Frank experience.
Absolute Radio.